What's up YouTube, Capital G here talking about our good friend Firewall Dragon in this video and why I believe that this card is about to be getting unbanned very soon in both regions of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game, the OCG and the TCG. I believe that what Konami is going to do, I believe that they're going to try to hotfix Firewall Dragon. They're going to give us an errata very quickly, and it is all thanks to the new cover card of Dark Neostorm, Firewall Sea Dragon. Now, let me just say, this is not some crazy Yu-Gi-Oh! Theory that I have been sitting on for a couple of weeks or anything like that. This is something that I did not plan on talking about anytime soon. I thought once we got Firewall Dragon banned, I kind of felt like it was, you know, a little bit of an old Yeller moment where Konami finally put down Firewall Dragon. We weren't going to have to talk about it or see it ever again. But then you guys know Konami basically gives us a brand new Firewall Dragon with Dark Neostorm in the form of Firewall Sea Dragon, and I kind of think that that speaks volumes, not just because the card is another version of Firewall Dragon, but because of the way the card actually functions. Now, in all honesty, I thought that there were a lot of possibilities that Konami would just try to sweep Firewall Dragon under the rug. They wouldn't talk about it anymore. They would basically try to treat it as, you know, this really bad dream that they woke up for and just kind of take it out of the players' minds. You know, they've been obviously promoting the card a heck of a lot throughout the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime and throughout some of the promotions that they've done. But then when they finally banned it, it was like, okay, it's a changing of the guard. They'll give us a new ace monster. They announced Decode Talker is the official ace monster, etc. We're not going to talk about Firewall Dragon anymore. In fact, a lot of people even talked about the possibility, and this is a very real possibility, of Firewall Dragon even being written out of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains anime series. And, you know, I'm somebody who's basically current on the show. Firewall Dragon has not been summoned a single time in Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains Season 2, so that kind of speaks volumes. Maybe they're like, look, we can live without Firewall Dragon. We're not even going to have Yusaku summon it. We'll give them new cards, etc. But then they come and they drop this new Firewall Dragon on us, and not only does it have Firewall Dragon in its name, it's specifically designed to work with the old Firewall Dragon as well. Now, my prediction is that Yusaku is going to summon Firewall Sea Dragon within the next couple of duels that he has on the show, and this isn't any great prophecy or anything like that. It's just, you know, knowing the basic way that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Core booster sets basically kind of correlate with the progress of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series, and that doesn't ever really change. So the cards that you see on the covers of the booster set are generally going to appear in an upcoming duel, and I feel like he's going to summon Firewall Dragon first. He's probably going to try for some aggressive play, maybe try to end the game. His opponent is going to thwart that, and then later in the duel, he's going to Xyz summon Firewall Sea Dragon and bring the Firewall Dragon back. Now, the reason that I really believe that he is going to once again use the original Firewall Dragon in the show is when you look at Firewall Sea Dragon's effect, everybody realizes by now the thing basically has no targets, and obviously it can be used with the original Firewall Dragon, which I should point out is the only Link 4 that Yusaku has ever summoned in the entire show. This guy has only summoned one target for this monster. So what do you think he's going to bring back with it? Like, he's going to bring back Firewall Dragon, but even if that somehow just didn't happen, the only other targets in the entire game for this card would be Topologic Bomber Dragon and Topologic Gumblar Dragon. Yusaku does not play Topologic's Revolver plays those cards, and really when you even think about this, let's just take the anime out of it, right? Let's just take this into the context of the actual physical card game. Can you really release a booster set cover card? I mean, this is the card that's supposed to get us hyped about Dark Neostorm. This is supposed to be the card that sells the effing set. Can you really release this card when you only have 2 targets in the entire game for it to work with? And this is not even mentioning that I would probably say about 90% of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community probably wants Topologic Gumblar Dragon banned as well. So what if everybody complains enough about Gumblar Dragon where Konami's like, look guys, we hear you loud and clear, we're gonna go ahead and ban Gumblar Dragon? You would literally have this card coming out with only 1 target in the entire game. Like, does that sound like something that's realistic, where you're going to release a new boss monster that only works with 1 card in the entire game? That doesn't really seem like something that Konami would actually do. But then I actually started thinking about it, right? I started thinking about it from the Firewall Dragon perspective, and I was like, man, if they brought Firewall Dragon back, but they nerfed it a bit, I don't think that all that much could change, or all that much would have to change between the physical card game and really the anime. And I know a lot of people have always suggested that they should errata the card, and they should errata it to be a hard once per turn. I actually feel like that's not going to happen. Here's my theory, right? I feel like Konami is going to errata Firewall Dragon, but I actually think that they're going to errata the card to be Cyberse monsters only. I mean that the requirement to summon Firewall Dragon is going to be Cyberse. When I really think about how a lot of times the Yu-Gi-Oh anime progresses, you guys know that a lot of times the characters will summon the boss monsters early in the show, and a lot of their plays are pretty damn mild, but by the end of the show, in the final arcs in seasons 3 and 4, they're doing all types of crazy wild shit, like when, you know, Yusei Fudo is summoning like Quasar Dragon, and when he's summoning like Stardust and Black Rose and other shit all in one turn. That is not stuff that he's doing in the beginning of the show. The beginning of the show, the plays are incredibly basic. If this show, Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns, is going to fit that same pattern that Konami has been doing for 15 years, chances are when he summons Firewall Dragon late in season 3 or in season 4, he's going to probably want to use that special summon from the hand effect multiple times, so that, you know, maybe he ends up creating an extra link, which, by the way, if you guys have never seen the show, extra linking is actually canon. Watch the anime, you'll learn that like Gumblar extra links is actually canon. It happens in the anime. But if Yusaku is going to have some ridiculous crazy plays that require him to use Firewall Dragon's effect over and over again, if Konami erratas Firewall Dragon to just be locked into Cyberse monsters to where it can only special summon Cyberse monsters, or it requires Cyberse monsters to summon, not only does this nerf the card in the physical version, because there are only 2 Cyberse decks in the game when you really think about it. You're either playing Salamangreats, where the entire archetype is Cyberse, or you're playing like Cyberse as Yusaku does. Now, there are some other Cyberse archetypes that have appeared on the anime, but we haven't actually got those in the physical card game yet, so I really won't talk about those. But really, when you think about this new hypothetical Firewall Dragon, it really wouldn't be exploitable at that point, because you can only reliably summon it and use it really in just a couple of decks. So I think the players in the physical card game would now be happy because Firewall Dragon's back, but it's not really going to be all that impactful in the meta because it's not broken. It's not a card you can just throw in Gokis or pull off OTKs with Trickstars, etc., etc. And then I think even from the anime side, the writers of the anime would be fine with it too, because let's just say that Firewall Dragon does get errata to where the second effect is a hard once per turn. Now all of these ideas that the writers might have of fucking crazy plays where Yusaku can use a Firewall Dragon extra link, or he can use a Firewall Dragon to go into the first ever Link 5, etc., etc. None of those plays are going to be possible. However, if they lock it into Cyberse only, just about everything, they won't have to change anything at all, because if you don't know, Yusaku only plays Cyberse monsters. He calls his deck a Cyberse deck, and he has never summoned any monster, to my knowledge, that is not Cyberse type, so they really wouldn't have to change anything, even if Firewall Dragon gets completely neutered, right? Let's just say that Firewall Dragon becomes, 2+ Cyberse monsters, and you can only special summon Cyberse monsters from your hand. Even if Konami goes full neuter on it, it really won't matter to the anime at all, because that's how he plays the card anyway. So it really doesn't change anything. And some of you guys might be thinking, oh, Cap G, what if the new Firewall Sea Dragon is being planned for Yusaku to use his new ace monster that's supposed to come out of the starter deck 2019? That definitely is a possibility, but you also have to think about this. This new Firewall Sea Dragon, obviously it's pointing towards Firewall Dragon coming back to the anime, and when you look at it, Konami does have a history of giving us some, erratas really quickly when it means moving new product. Now, you guys know some of the erratas have taken years. Dark Strike Fighter took freaking forever, especially in the TCG. Hell, Chaos Emperor Dragon took over a decade for Konami to even think about errataing that card, and then ultimately to unban it in the OCG. But think about another errata, one of the ones that, may have went under the radar because it wasn't a card that was super generic or anything like that. Think about a card like Grand Soil the Elemental Lord. This is a card that got errated, and then in the TCG, Konami conveniently released this in the Flames of Destruction Special Edition. Well, guess what else is in Flames of Destruction? element sabers, the archetype to which the elemental lords technically belong in. So Konami waited specifically for this booster set to go ahead and give us the errata of Grand Soil because they knew, hey, this is the perfect time to re-release Grand Soil. We have the element sabers for people to use it in. It all kind of makes sense. Konami didn't just wait and say, we're just going to give you guys the Grand Soil update and we'll put it out next year or something like that. They specifically rushed it out because they knew that there was an archetype that could basically use the card, and it just kind of made sense. It would help the sales, etc., etc. I kind of feel like the same thing is going to happen with Firewall Dragon and Firewall Sea Dragon. I feel like they're going to quick fix errata the card, and then they're going to bring it back into the game so Firewall Dragon can be used alongside Firewall Sea Dragon. And maybe they don't do that, but honestly, I kind of feel like they've gone through too much trouble at this point, naming this thing Firewall Dragon, giving it the same stats as Firewall Dragon, making it work with Firewall Dragon, giving it the same appearance as Firewall Dragon. I just think that it screams, hey guys, we're going to bring Firewall Dragon back. It's only going to work with Cyberse types. It's only going to be able to be summoned by Cyberse types. That way, everybody's basically happy. The show writers get to, still have Firewall Dragon do nut stuff on the anime, and we get a balanced version of Firewall Dragon in our card game that doesn't have to be, doesn't have to be one that basically breaks the game, and the new players get to play the cards like they do on the anime. So whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Do you guys think that I'm on to something, or do you think that I'm completely wrong? Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.